We started this a little while ago, Tim, and it's our investment tip of the week. And Tim, what is the investment tip of the week?
Well, our investment tip of the week came up because we've run into this problem quite a bit. When is the right time to sell a problem property?
Yeah, and you might be thinking, what is a problem property? And we go through this all the time. Funny enough, Tim and I are realtors, and we tell people not to sell their homes if they don't have to. But Tim, some of the reasons why people have to sell their homes, or some of the reasons why there are problem properties out there, we'll just go through this quickly, step by step. The first problem with a property being a problem property is cash flow. If it's not cash flowing, it's not worth it. We say this all the time. As soon as you have to pull money out of your back pocket to help your investment real estate, your days are limited as an investor. We're only buying cash flow properties for our investors out there.
Yeah, and some of the things that, of course, we're going to hope that you try to remedy that cash flow problem. But, if you've refinanced, if you've raised the rent, if you've lowered your expenses somehow and you're still not cash flowing, that's a problem. So that's one of the things that, it may be time to sell that property if you cannot cash flow for whatever reason.
Yeah, huge problem. Second problem we always come across is that the values have gone down. We know right now behind us in the condo market, values have gone down in some of these properties up to $200,000. Yes. So if you've been holding on, and I know we've got a client who is a lawyer, actually, she's been holding on for a long time, and she just got hit with a special assessment. She's like, Azad, when can I get rid of this property? And we know that that condo market is turning around. So that would be another reason, Tim, on why you should sell a problem property. The third reason is that it's hard to rent out. If you're buying a rental property through us, it's always going to be easy to rent out because that's what we're guaranteeing to our investors out there. But we do come across these properties. Another reason why a property couldn't rent out or may be hard to rent out is supply. If you own a condo downtown, it may be almost impossible to rent out because there's so many other rental properties. Other problems we've seen properties, we've seen condos that are in the basement of an apartment building, and they're impossible to rent out sometimes because you're limited to who you could rent out the property to. A lot of females will not rent that property. And if that happens, maybe when the market comes back, like it is now, it's a good time to offload that property if it is hard to rent out. Tim, structural damage. We see this all the time.
So that's another reason why you may have to sell. Problems like structural damage, it may be, you may see the damage, you may not see the damage. But if your property is damaged to such an extent that it's compromised structurally, you may not want to take on the cost of remedying that situation. And we've seen cracked foundations, we've seen retaining wall problems where the property's on a slope and it's starting to slide. So if it's a massive structural problem like that, it may be, a problem property.
Yeah, we've seen driveways that have been, cracked or whatnot. So yeah, if it has a problem, it may be a problem to you, but it may not be a problem to someone else. It may have things like poly B piping or
aluminum wiring. And that may be, and we've seen this poly B. I know I'm up in Christie Park. There's a lot of poly B, and I've seen neighbors sell because of it. Now, all of these defects, if they are defects, latent or patent, Tim, we have to disclose that. But it may be a headache to you, and someone might be just rubbing their hands saying, yes, it's my time to get into that neighborhood. Yeah, aluminum wiring is one of those things. They used it from the late 60s into the early 70s. It was a cheap replacement because copper wiring was getting expensive. So the builders switched over to aluminum for a while there. The thing is it tends to expand and contract with the temperature. So sometimes the fittings will get loose and it'll create sparks, and you may have a risk of a fire. Now, we've also spoken to the Calgary Fire Department, and we asked them point blank, how many fires are started by aluminum wiring in the city every year? And the answer was none.
Yeah.
So to some people, it may freak them out. To some insurance companies, it freaks them out, and they won't even insure a house with aluminum wiring unless you remedy it by pigtailing the outlets and fixing it at the electrical box. But some of our clients, they have no problem buying properties with aluminum wiring because they have the ability to fix it. So, it depends. It might be a problem to you, but not to someone else, just like Azad said.
Yeah, another problem we see out there with problem properties are problem neighbors. And some of you may be laughing, but Tim, we have seen that a lot of the times actually, and people just want to get rid of a property because of a neighbor. They've either called the city on an illegal suite, or they just can't handle having tenants, and they're calling you all the time complaining that they're being noisy or getting up to wild parties. Whatever the case, you know what? When is a good time to sell a problem property? One last thing we want to talk about, Tim, is when it gets expensive. You may have some upcoming repairs. I know Tim and I owned a 2-story home in Copperfield a bunch of years ago, and all of the carpet needed replacing. And we're talking like the basement, the main floor, the upstairs, the stairs, and it was going to be like $15,000. And we're like, you know what? Let's just get rid of that property, and we did. So Tim, when is a good time to sell a problem property, and why?
So what we're finding is when the market is super, super hot like it is right now, that is the absolute best time to sell a problem property. What we're seeing is buyers are getting desperate. There's no inventory. They can't find what they want. So they're taking, a little less than what they want. They will take on some of these problems and remedy them so you don't have to. So markets like we're in right now are great times to sell problem properties. If you have a problem property and you want to know whether to keep it or whether to offload it, drop us a line, because we'll give you our opinion on that.
Yeah, we sell problem properties all the time. We're actually buying problem properties because we can walk our clients through the steps they have to go through to remediate or just make it a better situation. And some of our clients don't even care.
Yeah, so, and on the buying side, these buyers can put these repairs in their mortgage plus improvements. Whereas the seller, if they have to take that money out of their back pocket to fix the roof or to change the carpet or to do major repair work, they may not be motivated to do that. But a buyer, if they can incorporate that into their mortgage, it's a win-win situation right there.
Yeah, so now is a great time to sell a problem property, just because the buyers will look past that or work out a way around it. And if you're thinking of selling, please call us. We'd love to hear about your property and see what we can do. And we're doing these investment tips every week now. It's actually called Investment Tip Tuesdays. And if you've missed our tips so far, Tim, there's been some really, really good ones like buying foreclosures, or I can't go through them all right now. But if you have missed them, I'm going to put a link into the chat. You can click on that and it will take you to a subscription to our YouTube channel. It's for free, and you can learn all about investing in real estate.
So that's our investment tip of the week. Like Azad said, check it out on YouTube. We've got tons of advice for all investing types, every strategy out there.